Just keep it. Just keep it. Yeah. Just keep it authentic TV where we only speak on facts. Just keep it authentic TV. We keep it real, no cap. Just keep it authentic TV where we keep it authentic. Just keep it authentic TV. We don't do no pretending. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Take a sit, enjoy the vibe. Yo. Like, share, subscribe. Take a sit, enjoy the vibe. Yo. Keep it authentic TV, where the facts outweigh the lies. Keep it authentic TV, where nothing but truth resides. Keep it authentic, share the vibe. Come enjoy the fun and don't forget to subscribe. Keep it authentic TV, where the facts outweigh the lies. Keep it authentic TV, where nothing but truth resides. Just keep it authentic, yeah. They keep it authentic. You can just keep it authentic, yeah. They keep it authentic. Just keep it authentic. Yeah, keep it authentic. Baby, just keep it authentic. Yeah, keep it authentic. Yeah. Hit the like button, share the vibe. Come and join the fun and don't forget to subscribe. Just keep it authentic TV. Just keep it authentic TV. Just keep it authentic. Just keep it authentic. Let's go. Let's go. Just keep it. Just keep it.
What's poppin', what's poppin', what's poppin'? Man, oh man, oh man. Can somebody help me out here, man? What is going on? Like, I need somebody to really help me out, man. Like, what is really going on with this Nolan Wells case, man? Can anybody help me understand this? You know, I've never seen in my life a case like this. Now, I'm not saying that we haven't seen similar cases of the same nature, but the way they being so secretive and so hush hush about everything, like I ain't never seen this ever. Like they wasn't this quiet when they convicted John Gotti. They wasn't this quiet when they went after El Chapo. You know, so I'm just having a very hard time of understanding why it is so difficult to provide this family with some answers. Okay, so listen, right? We know from watching these boys, Warren, Jax, Morgan, Wyatt, Bart, you know, Wyatt and Bart, they ain't really said much. You know what I'm saying? Bart got his attorney, you know what I'm saying? And they said, listen, we ain't got nothing to say, but if you slander my character, we will sue you for defamation. We ain't heard much from Wyatt. Well, at least I haven't heard much from Wyatt, if anything, from him at all. You know, it's mainly been Warren doing all of the talking. Initially, it was Warren that sat down with Officer Tatum. You know, originally, it was Warren that took Officer Tatum back to Horn Island, supposedly to give him the layout of the island and to inform him of how treacherous these waters and these currents were supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So then you sat down with him again, and then the most recent interview, it was you, meaning Warren, Jax, and Morgan, that sat down along with their civil attorney, uh, Tyler Cox, I believe his name is. So, right, that's the most recent sit down y'all had. And all three of these sit down interviews have been done with Officer Tatum. And throughout all three of these videos, right? Or excuse me, out of all three of these sit down interviews, all he's done is basically defend you, which I feel like there's no reason to really defend any of y'all because at the end of the day, right? I have not heard one person accuse any of y'all of committing any type of crime. So if we really look at this, right, it's been the family, the public, the content creators, uh, former judges, attorneys. It's been all kinds of people. Nancy Grace, you know what I'm saying? YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, like everybody, just about on every platform is talking about this case, right? And everybody, just about on every platform, we all got the same question. Can anybody tell us what happened? So now, right, I'm to the point to where, as y'all can tell from the title, I don't know if the state of Mississippi is investigating a homicide, you know, per foul play, or if they investigating an accidental drowning. Because so far, what we know for a fact, right? What we have been able to confirm as facts is that, okay, yes, Nolan Wells went missing on the 4th of July. He was supposedly rowed out on a boat with a group of his friends. Warren was said to be one of those friends he rowed out to the island with. This is what we know for fact. So now, we also know for fact that he came up missing on the 4th of July because when you guys returned back from Horn Island to the mainland, he was not with y'all. And this is according to your own words. Y'all publicly stated that he refused to get back on the boat when y'all told him he was leaving, and he supposedly stayed behind with this girl, Katie, also known as Katie McCormack, right? So now, Katie McCormack comes out and she says, hey, that's not true. He didn't stay on the island with me. Okay, it was also reported that Katie supposedly left, but we can't confirm what time she left the island, you know, and actually who she left with. It was reported that she supposedly left with her brother and his fiance. Okay, if that's the case, right, we need to know what time or around what time was it when y'all left the island. Because the only thing she stated, right, is that Nolan did not stay back on the island with her. She said the last time she saw him, he was walking towards the boat and she assumed or she just thought that he was getting back on the boat to head out with his friends, right? That's what we know as fact. All of this has been confirmed. Now, Warren supposedly said that he told Nolan's mom, Miss Christine Wells Wansley, that They had Nolan's phone. Okay, so now listen, right? Let's look at this from an adult perspective, right? Or I know there's probably people watching this, and a lot of y'all are probably mothers and fathers. So, like, let's look at this from a parent's perspective, right? You know what I'm saying? What 18-year-old child, whether it's male or female, what 18-year-old teenage child or adult, however you want to look at it, is going to go on an outing for 4th of July weekend, you know what I'm saying, and leave their phone behind if they're staying. So let's look at this, right? Okay, so let's just say, for the sake of argument, right, that he did decide to stay on the island with whoever, right? Why would he leave his phone on the boat when he's staying behind on an uninhabited island? So he has no way of contacting anyone if something was to happen, right? That really don't make no sense, do it? So it's like, come on now, like, what are we really arguing about, right? Okay, that doesn't make any type of sense. A 18-year-old, three-sport athlete. You talking about a kid that plays football, basketball, and baseball. You know what I'm saying? Which all three are very popular sports. All three are known to attract the girls. You know what I'm saying? So, like, let's come on now. Let's be realistic. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no way you're gonna be able to convince me that this 18-year-old kid left his phone on the boat with you, knowing that you were leaving and he was staying behind. I'm not buying it. Ain't no way I'm buying that. So now, right, after going through all of the hassle to get the phone back, you know, Miss Christine, she gets the phone back. Okay, so now whether she went through the phone or not is irrelevant to me. As a mother, I would expect her to go through it, especially if she has the passcode to gain access to it. You know what I'm saying? So that is irrelevant to me. Now, she gets the phone back, she goes through it, and then she finds it very odd and very strange, which I'm a father of six. You know what I'm saying? And I would find it very odd and very strange if any of my teenage children went out somewhere, whether it was the party for the weekend, whether it's a birthday party, cookout, whatever the case may be, right? An event where I know you're going to take some type of pictures, you're going to be posting something, whether it's on Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, Twitch, you know what I'm saying, Kick, whatever platform of your choice, right? You're going to be posting something though. You know what I'm saying? So I find that very odd that she goes through the phone and, don't see nothing posted nowhere, you know what I'm saying, about what he was doing for the 4th of July weekend. No pictures, no videos, no Snapchats, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? So come on now. Cut it out, people. You know what I'm saying? Stop with the shenanigans. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it ain't adding up, right? So now you sit down, you sit down with this Officer Tatum guy, right? You say, hey, hey man, look, the last time I saw him was around 3 o'clock. Then you turn around and you say, the last time I saw him was at 3 o'clock. But then when we was leaving at 4:30, you know what I'm saying, he was sitting next to the boat with Katie. You know what I'm saying? So wait a minute. Hold on. So you saw him at 3 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Then you saw him again at 4:30. You know what I'm saying? Because like you can't tell us that the last time you saw him was at 3 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? And then follow that up with saying, but at 4:30 when we was getting ready to leave, he was sitting on the shore, next to the boat or whatever, you know, with with Katie, right? So it's like it's either one or the other, or it can be both. You know what I'm saying? But you making it seem like, you know what I'm saying, you making it seem like that's insignificant. You know what I'm saying? No, that's not insignificant, my brother. That's very significant because it don't add up. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to make us think that the last time you saw was at 3 o'clock. But then you slipped up and said, but at 4:30, when we was getting ready to leave, he was sitting on next to the boat with Katie. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, right, Katie has consistently came out and said, hey, he didn't stay with me. Now, I'm not sitting up here telling you she didn't give us an explanation either. She didn't give us, you know, a location to where he went. You know what I'm saying? What she said was that the last time she saw him, he was walking towards the boat. So she assumed that he was getting back on the boat with his friends and riding back in with the people he came out with. Okay, listen, that's a fair assumption to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not expecting her to stand there, you know what I'm saying, and watch this kid get on the boat because, like, what they said was that this was the first time he had met this girl, right? So he hadn't known this girl prior to this. You know what I'm saying? So this is the first time he met this girl. And I can understand, in the beginning, right, when they said he stayed back, you know what I'm saying? And a little bit more information started to come out, right? I said, well, hey, he's 18 years old. Maybe he did stay back, you know what I'm saying, and try to get him something, right? But now I'm having a hard time understanding why this girl will consistently keep coming out and saying, hey, listen, he did not stay on the island with me. Now, listen, I don't understand why she would hide that, right? Like, seriously. I mean, outside of the fact that the boy came up missing and he's now dead, you know what I'm saying? I just don't understand why she would hide the fact that, okay, yeah, he stayed on the island with me till such and such time, and then I don't know where he went after that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, at the end of the day, if that's what it is, that's what it is, right? All we can do uh, is accept that. You know what I'm saying? Until it's proven otherwise. So now, right? I don't really have much of a problem with Katie outside of the fact that it just keep being said. Different little things about her. Like it's constantly being said that he stayed on the island with her. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I feel like you clarified that part. You said no, he didn't stay on the island with you. Okay. So now I feel like you need to tell us, okay, do you know where he went, after that? Or, you know, is it really true that the last time you saw him, he was walking towards the boat like he was getting ready to get on it, and you just went on about your business? You know what I'm saying? I mean, because that's very plausible too, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, really, there's no evidence of nothing, pointing to her at all, besides the fact that her name keeps being tossed in the middle of shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel like, you know, like I don't know, man. I'm real confused about this shit, right? Because it's like, okay, listen, this happens, he goes missing on the fourth, then he's found 2 days later on the sixth. You know what I'm saying? So now I have a problem with the narrative they're trying to paint, saying that it's got treacherous tides and currents out there. They got a spot out there that they call the washing machine, where the current can swiftly change on you, and If you don't know, how to navigate that type of stuff, you can be out of there. Okay, now listen, if that's the case, right? You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not a oceanographer or nothing like that, right? So I don't know nothing about tides and currents. So, I'm taking it as face value, right? So listen, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so why was he found in the same exact location? If not exactly the same, almost in the same location, right? If it's got all these treacherous tides and currents, he was missing for 2 days. You know what I'm saying? So you don't think that these treacherous tides and currents might have swept him off somewhere else? You know what I'm saying? Instead, they just kept him floating in the same spot for 2 days. I ain't going for it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. I'm not going for that, man. That shit don't add up to me. You know what I'm saying? And it don't add up to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's just reality, man. It's fact. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you got some people out there that you can just say anything to, and they just be like, all right, it is what it is. But then you got those people like us and millions of other, right? Those people like myself and millions of other people, you know what I'm saying? They like, hell no, that shit don't sound right. That shit don't sound right, man. No, no, I need a better explanation than that. Real shit, right? You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, people just need to understand, right? Like, some things motherfuckers just ain't finna let you just sweep under the rug. We ain't finna let you just toss that shit to the side. Like, hell no. Like, no, man. Like, this shit is creepy. Like, this shit ain't right at all, man. Like, and then y'all got a history of this shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't help. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would understand like if this was like a one time thing, like this was the first time this happened. Like, hell no. Like, it's been reported, you know, in the last 5 years, bro. I think, because I just looked them up, right, a couple of days ago because somebody else had brought it to my attention. So, within the last 5 years, from 2021 up until now, right, the state of Mississippi has had like 5 or 6 unexplained suspicious deaths, right? You know what I'm saying? That they don't either rule accidental or self inflicted. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it doesn't help that you have a history of this type of stuff happening in your state and y'all just constantly sweeping it under the rug. And unfortunately, now we're at a point to where now it's like, nah, we're not gonna let you sweep this one under the rug. Like, you gonna do what you need to do to bring this family justice and closure, right? So with that being said, right, I done talked to y'all enough. So with that being said, we're gonna get into this content, right? So first I want to show y'all the video statement that Mississippi District Attorney Angel Myers McElrath, he put out. You know what I'm saying? This is the statement that she put out. You know what I'm saying? And I want y'all to listen to the statement, right? Because I done listened to it like, at least probably like 10 times now. You know what I'm saying? I probably listened to it today like 4 times today alone. You know what I'm saying? So, right, I want y'all to listen to this statement, right? And I want y'all to, think to yourself after listening to this statement, do y'all really believe that her statement is sincere? You know what I'm saying? Do y'all really believe that she was telling the 100% honest to God truth in this statement, right? So let's get into it.
As District Attorney for the 19th Circuit Court District of Mississippi, I want to talk directly to the people of Jackson County. Our community is grieving the tremendous loss of Nolan Wells, who is loved and treasured by everyone. Nolan's family deserves answers, and our community deserves answers. Every death in the county, except those of natural causes and non-criminal car wrecks, are presented to your grand jury. Many people don't know that. We have handled death investigations in this manner my entire career. Nolan's case is being handled the same way, with the same care and the same commitment to the truth that we handle all death investigations. I understand the public's urgency to know what happened to Nolan, but we are not taking time for time's sake. We are taking the time required to complete the work this investigation demands. Since Nolan was reported missing, local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies have worked around the clock investigating what happened to him. Every piece of evidence must be examined. Every credible lead must be followed to its conclusion. Every witness interview must be analyzed in context of all other evidence. The pressure for answers does not change what the work requires. Our responsibility to Nolan and our community is to complete this investigation thoroughly, carefully, without compromise, supported by the evidence, and worthy of the confidence of the people we serve. I also understand that many people have questions about why more information has not been released publicly. In Mississippi, the rules of professional conduct restrict the information a prosecutor can release during an investigation. Our restraint in communicating facts and evidence is not an effort to keep the truth from the public. It is an effort to protect the integrity of this investigation and the grand jury proceeding. As your district attorney, I have an ethical obligation to avoid public statements that could influence witnesses, prejudice a proceeding, or compromise the fairness of the legal process. My obligation extends to and requires me to use reasonable care to ensure investigating agencies avoid making those statements and releasing information as well. These rules exist to protect the search for the truth, not to prevent it. As divided as the discussion surrounding Nolan's death has become, I know we all want the same thing, to understand what happened to Nolan. With that being our shared goal, we must also share in the goal of protecting the integrity of how the truth is discovered. If we sacrifice the integrity of the process in effort to satisfy today's questions, we risk undermining the confidence in tomorrow's answers. When the public asks, what about this, or have they looked at that, or did they think about this? The answer is yes. Those are the same questions investigators ask. The difference is that we can't publicly discuss the evidence, the interviews, or what those efforts have uncovered while the investigation is underway. Again, our restraint in sharing details of the investigation is not a refusal to share the truth. It is our commitment to protect the process that allows the truth to be known with confidence. There's a lot of information out there, and there is a heck of a lot of misinformation out there. I simply want the community I serve to know that this investigation is being handled with the care, professionalism, and commitment to the truth that every family in Jackson County deserves. As we continue this important work, Nolan's family, his friends, and all who loved him remain in our prayers. As district attorney for
Okay, so listen, right? We just listened to her statement in entirety with no interruptions. So, after listening to that, right, I want you to tell me in the comments if you really believe that statement that she gave was sincere and the 100% honest to God truth. Or do you think that was the same bullshit that they tell us when they want our vote? They'll tell you, oh, yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to take care of this, we're going to take care of that, we're going to make sure this is right, we're going to make sure that is good, you know what I'm saying, to get your vote. Then once they get in there, they be like, man, fuck all that bullshit we was talking about, man. We ain't giving them motherfucker shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit. My bad, y'all. So listen, right? Like I said, man, I want y'all to get in the comments and I want y'all to you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just realized my picture was missing. I hit the starting soon screen instead of the just chat screen. My bad, y'all. But listen, right? Y'all listen to the statement, right? And I ain't gonna lie to you, right? I listened to that shit, like I said, like 10 times. I just listened to it today like 4 times. You know what I'm saying? And like, I ain't buying it, bro. I'm just not buying it. It sound too motherfucking scripted. Like, that was some shit that a motherfucker wrote down because they knew that this was what, you know, people would want to hear, right? They wrote that shit down. It was like, look, this is the politically correct thing to say. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, period, right? It just did not sound like, you know, a person taking this shit serious. Not to me, but I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? So now we done listen to the statement, right? So now we passed that, right? So now we gonna move forward to this agreement that was supposedly made, you know what I'm saying, between the Mississippi State authorities and Benjamin Crump and his legal team, right? You know what I'm saying? And the request was that, you know, they don't want to turn the phone over to just the Mississippi authorities. You know what I'm saying? The request is that they want to have everybody in the room, meaning they want Nolan Wells' mom, his dad, Benjamin Crump and his team, the Mississippi State authorities and they officials or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and the FBI, and they want one extraction, one download to be done with everybody present in the room, all at the same time, right? So everybody gets to witness exactly what the process is. And I have no problem at all with that scenario. You know what I'm saying? Okay, yes, I understand that they have agreed to meet halfway. So, like I said, I don't have a problem with them saying, listen, you know what I'm saying? We don't have a problem with the phone being downloaded and extracted. We just want everybody that needs to be present in the room when it happens. So there can be nobody on either side to say, okay, anything was altered, anything was manipulated. If it's all done at the same time by everybody, right? Then that means both parties should come out with the same conclusion. Whatever this side finds, the other side should find the same exact thing because y'all did it all at one time in the same, and we stood here and watched y'all do it. So that's what they requested to ask, right? You know what I'm saying? And it was reported that Mississippi state officials agreed to that. Okay, so listen, we're gonna look at this, we're gonna read this statement, right? Okay, this is a statement that was sent on August the 13th by Benjamin Crump and his team to the Mississippi state officials, right? And we're gonna read it. We're gonna check it out, right? So listen, this is what it says. And this is, you see what it says right there, Jackson County. So this is from Jackson County, Mississippi. It says legal team for Nolan Wells family accuses DA of not operating in good faith, right? This was updated August the 14th, 2026 at 3:27 p.m., right? So we're going to read it. It says District Attorney Angel Myers McIlrath released a statement about the investigation into into the death of Nolan Wells and the timing of the release of information by provided. The legal team representing the family of Nolan Wells attacked the district attorney's office in South Mississippi on Friday, saying District Attorney Angel Myers McIlrath is not operating in good faith in the investigation into the death of the beloved Ocean Springs team. In a letter sent to McElrath on August the 13th, the legal team said that Nolan's parents remain willing to facilitate a forensic examination of Nolan's phone consistent with what the parties agreed to on July 15th. So this was all almost nearly a month ago. They agreed to this on July 15th. And then Benjamin Crump and his team sent this letter out on August the 13th saying, hey, look, we don't have a problem with, you know what I'm saying, the phone being downloaded and extracted. We just want it to be done, you know, based on what we agreed to. You know what I'm saying? So you can't agree upon something. You can't agree upon something, right? And then come back later on and try to flip the script and be like, oh, nah, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I know I agreed to this, but look, let's go ahead and get this done, whoop-de-whoop. Like, hell no. You know what I'm saying? If we agree upon something, it's going to be done just like what we agreed upon, right? So, you know what I'm saying? She said she a crook. Hell yeah, she's a motherfucking crook. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, y'all agreed to this on July 15th. You know what I'm saying? This letter was sent on August 13th. But let's keep on reading, right? Let's see what else they got to say. It says, according to the legal team, at the July 15th meeting, the parties agreed to jointly coordinate forensic examination of the phone using digital forensics lab and Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College with possible FBI involvement, right? So what they're saying is that on July 15th, everybody agreed that, okay, look, these are the parties that we want involved in this. You know what I'm saying? We want it jointly coordinated. You know what I'm saying? We want our forensic examination team. Y'all can have y'all forensic examination team. We want the digital forensic lab, and we want the Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College with the possible, involvement of the FBI if necessary, right? So this is what they agreed upon. Okay, let's keep on reading. It says, according to the legal team's correspondence, no date or time that examination was ever set. Instead, on August 12th at 11:51 p.m., the district attorney's office sent a letter directing the family to deliver the phone to her office by 9 a.m. on August the 14th. Less than 48 hours later, Nolan's parents were outside of Mississippi when the letter was sent and were not scheduled to return before the deadline, right? So see what I'm saying? See how on July 15th, they agreed to something, right? But a date was never set. So then later on August the 12th, they try to come back and flip the script. Talking about, oh yeah, fuck all that. Deliver the phone to my office. Hell no, I'm not delivering shit to your office. I don't trust your office. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm telling y'all what these people trying to do. These people want this mother to drop that phone off so they can go through it and further manipulate shit the way they've been doing this whole goddamn case. I'm telling y'all, man. Look, listen. When when the family requested the independent autopsy to be done, right? Dr. Roger Mitchell, go look him up yourself. He's a well-known, well-reputable pathologist, right? Go do your research on him yourself. You know what I'm saying? They hired Dr. Robert Mitchell out of Washington, D.C. to do this secondary independent autopsy, right? Okay, this pathologist was not sent the entire body. He was sent the body, but there was no throat sent and there was no neck area sent. So Mississippi State officials kept two key pieces, you know what I'm saying, of this body when they transported and sent it off to Washington, D.C. for Dr. Robert Mitchell to do his autopsy, right? Now, granted, Dr. Robert Mitchell, he still did it. Now, The cause of death was labeled as undetermined. The manner of death was also labeled as undetermined. But he also noted that he found a deep reddening area on the back of Nolan's head, right? You know what I'm saying? Which they label as the medical term is subcutaneous uh, contusion or whatever it is, right? I'm not a doctor, so don't quote me on that. But listen, right? So he noted that he found, that, you know, reddish injury on the back of his neck, right? But he still labeled the manner and cause of death as undetermined because number one, he didn't have all of the body parts and organs to examine to be able to determine anything. So now, right, that's basically saying we back to square one. Then on July 15th, you know, supposedly, and according to what the statement we just read says, on July 15th, y'all agreed to do this jointly together. And all they was waiting on was for a date to be set. And instead of y'all setting a date, y'all waited until almost a month later. And on August 12th at 11:51 p.m., the district attorney, sent the Wells family a letter out saying, hey, deliver the phone to my office within 48 hours by 9 a.m. on the 14th of August. So that's 2 days later. And because they was out of town and unable to meet that deadline, y'all now want to say they're not cooperating. It's bullshit, bro. Okay, so look, let's keep on reading, right? It says Nolan's family has not refused to cooperate, and the correspondence with the district attorney's office is proof of that. The legal team said in a news release, we agreed on July 15th to examine this phone together with their experts, our experts, and possibly the FBI. So that exact same statement is continuously being made throughout this whole entire ordeal. They're not refusing to cooperate. They're just not going to let you do this shit by yourself because they don't trust you. And like, I gotta agree with them 100% at this point. You know what I'm saying? So now, another question that I have, right? Okay, so listen, right? If y'all say this is an accidental drowning, which your sheriff, you know what I'm saying? You, the district attorney of Jackson County, your sheriff of Jackson County, he was the one that came out and said, literally hours after they pulled this boy's body from the water, he goes public and makes a statement and said this was an accidental drowning before any autopsy was done, any toxicology report was done. He just goes on the national TV and say, hey, this was an accidental drowning. How the fuck do you know that? Then when all of the backlash comes, you know what I'm saying? He wants to come and say, hey, well, I apologize. You know, I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't have made that statement before any type of investigation was done. You goddamn right you shouldn't have made that statement. So if people want to label this shit as a cover up, okay, we got every right to. Y'all started this shit off right from the rip. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen this type of shit happen. Like a body gets pulled from some water, you know what I'm saying? And the sheriff of the motherfucking city, right? The sheriff of the motherfucking town that the body gets found in, he goes on national motherfucking TV and tells people, hey, this was an accidental drowning. Well, sheriff, how do you know that? Like, what type of investigation have you done to come to that conclusion? You know what I'm saying? There is no autopsy report done yet. There's no toxicology report done yet. Like we just pulled the body from the water. We don't even know how they got there. So it's like, come on, man. She said they are definitely trying to cover something up and they been paid. And I'm sorry, they're trying to cover for Bart. Okay, listen, right? Okay, listen. There's a theory that has recently come out, right? That Bart is supposedly, allegedly, the one that unalived Nolan Wells, right? Okay, now first of all, hear me out. Let me tell y'all the theory that's floating around. Okay, the theory is that, and matter of fact, I'm gonna give y'all another theory that I just heard today after I tell y'all about this one, right? Okay, so the theory about Bart is that for some reason him and Nolan got into an altercation. Now, the pictures that supposedly surfaced, you know, where they were saying that it was supposedly him and Katie together and they were supposed to be dating or whatever, or they had previously dated and supposedly Bart had an issue with that, right? I'm not going to really say whether that's fact or not, right? Because I haven't been able to confirm whether those pictures were altered or if those were original photos, right? So I'm not going to count that as gospel. But now, right? Let's say for instance, you know what I'm saying? Let's take that theory into consideration, right? Let's just say they get into an altercation about whatever it is. Let's not even say it's about Katie. Let's just say they get into an altercation, about whatever. Bart puts him in a chokehold because a chokehold would explain the injury on the back of his neck. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a plausible, scenario. But let's say, he puts him in a chokehold and he doesn't realize his own strength and, you know, Nolan loses air and he passes out and never recovers. Okay, listen. It's already been noted and confirmed that Bart is an aspiring punter who's on his way allegedly to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? It's also been confirmed that his dad, you know what I'm saying, Dr. Bart Edmonston Sr. is a well-renowned doctor, you know what I'm saying? And so we know his family, they're well off. So the theory is very plausible because it's like, okay, that's a lot to throw away if you really had something to do with this, right? That's a lot to throw away. You're throwing away an NFL career. You're basically throwing smut on your parents' reputation as well as your own. You know what I'm saying? And now, I mean, even though you may live in a community where, y'all worry about your own or y'all stick together with your own or whatever. Okay, even though you may live in that type of community, right? You know, you're gonna lose a lot of respect from other people in the community, right? Because those people are gonna look at you and they're gonna be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? We thought he was a good old wholesome down south kid. He turned out to be a murderer. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I understand. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot to lose. But it's like, listen, I was always taught, right, that, you know what I'm saying, if you commit the crime, you got to be held accountable for what you do and you got to accept the punishment that comes with it, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, listen, I I don't understand. Like I look at things like this, right? Let's just say Bart is the guilty party, right? Allegedly. Let's just hypothetically speak. and say Bart is the guilty party, right? And you got all of these other guys, Warren, Jax, Morgan, Wyatt, you know what I'm saying? Uh Tristan, Javon, you got all these other people, right? Just staying quiet. Katie, you know what I'm saying? All the other people that was out on the island, nobody saying nothing, right? And everybody staying hush hush to protect little old Bart and his NFL career and his family's reputation in the community, right? Let's just say that's the case. Now, put the shoe on the other foot and ask yourself, would Bart and his family do that for you? I don't think so. So listen, at the end of the day, right? You commit the crime, you pay the time. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was taught. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying that everybody was raised the same, and I understand people have differences of opinions and different perspectives on certain shit. So like it is what it is. I get that. But it's like, listen, you can't go out here and do something, right? You know what I'm saying? So look, right, like look, me personally, right? Okay, listen, let's just say one of me and my homies get into a little altercation, right? And I grip him up and don't realize my own strength. You know what I'm saying? And let's just say I kill him. Okay, look, at the end of the day, right? If I really know I did not intentionally mean to kill him, then yes, I'm gonna call the authorities. I'm gonna say, hey, look, man, me and my homie, we got into an altercation. I put him in a chokehold, bro. I didn't realize my own strength. Now he passed out and I can't get him to wake up, bro. Can we get an ambulance and somebody out here to help me? You know what I'm saying? Because at least now, if I don't have anything else in my defense, right? I've got that phone call that's made immediately after the situation takes place to authorities saying that, hey, look, he did call us right after it happened. You know what I'm saying? So, like, maybe he didn't intentionally mean to do it. That's not saying that you're still not guilty of a crime. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't mean that, a jury or you know, a judge is going to be like, okay, nah, we're not going to punish you for it. I mean, you still may be punished for the crime, but at least your punishment wouldn't be as so severe because at least somebody would, you know, understand and say, okay, listen, you know, maybe they do have remorse about what happened. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they didn't intentionally mean for this to go down the way it did. You know what I'm saying? So, like, at the end of the day, right? You know what I'm saying? People need to understand. And then, like, another thing that I don't like is the fact that, okay, look, these people went as far as to attack this boy's mother. You know what I'm saying? They went and called the nursing board on her, tried to get her fired from her profession. You know what I'm saying? People, just anonymous people who she's never even dealt with, has been going and leaving her 1-star reviews. And it's like because she asked what happened to her son? Like, are you serious? So like, what kind of shit is that? Like, what type of world are we really living in, people? You know what I'm saying? Like, where you can't even trust the very people that you dedicate your life to. You know what I'm saying? And I believe, like, I have no reason to not believe that this woman, doesn't give her patients the best care she can possibly give them. I have no reason not to believe that, but I don't know her personally. So I really can't speak on it, right? But it's like, okay, this whole time she's been asking the same question over and over again. What happened to my son? Can somebody tell me what happened to my son? And so far, nobody can tell this woman anything. Okay, so How long does the grand jury need to have this case before they either rule that, hey, listen, there's nothing to investigate here, there's nobody to prosecute here, you know what I'm saying? This was an accidental drowning. Or they come back and say, hey, listen, we found evidence that we need to further investigate. We want to talk to such and such, such and such, and such and such. You know what I'm saying? It's like, listen, this is why I say that statement that the district attorney made, right, where she's telling you all the shit that you want to hear, or we're treating this just like we would treat any other case. I'm not buying it, bruh. I'm not buying it. You know what I'm saying? It's just not adding up. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't understand the secrecy about everything. Okay, listen, you could sit up here and tell me that, okay, listen, if we, release certain information, it may influence the outcome of the case. Okay, so listen, you don't think all of the content that us content creators are running on this story, right, is going to affect the outcome of this case even a little bit? You don't believe that? That's why y'all trying to get us to hush up and stop running content about this. Because deep down inside, right, y'all know this was not an accidental drowning that y'all tried to get us to believe initially. I believe y'all done found some type of evidence which warranted y'all to present this case to a grand jury. And I feel like the grand jury was just an scapegoat for y'all. So if shit don't go down the way it's supposed to, right? And this shit go down as corruption, you know what I'm saying? You'll be the first person to come out and say, hey, look, it didn't have nothing to do with me. Hey, I passed it to the grand jury. Blame them. Y'all see how this shit work? Y'all see how it worked? Like in the beginning, they all work together, right? They all be in cahoots with each other. But then once one start catching backlash, and then they realize that the other ones can't really have their back, because it's like, if I have your back, then I'm going to get backlash. And it's like, hell no, I don't want the backlash. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you see how it worked? You know what I'm saying? It's all fun till the rabbit got the gun. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, it's all fun until the rabbit got the gun. Okay, but now listen, right? So we read that correspondence that was sent on August the 13th, explaining that on July 15th, we agreed to this. Now y'all trying to flip the script on us, right? So now we're going to get to the most recent correspondence that was sent by Benjamin Crump and his team, which was on August the 17th. You know what I'm saying? And that's today, I believe. Yeah, this morning. Right? Okay, so we're going to get to that, right? And as y'all can see, I got the original document from ALR Smith Law. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if y'all can see that on the screen, right? But you see right here at the top, right here, it's dated August 17th, 2026. That's today. And it's addressed to Angel Myers McElrath, Office of the District Attorney, 19th Circuit District Court, 3104 Magnolia Street, Pascagoula. I don't know if I said that right, but hey, I ain't from Mississippi, so don't judge me. But 39568, blah, 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 right? And then it goes on to read R.E. Nolan Wells. Dear District Attorney McElrath, this letter follows our August 13th correspondence regarding the examination of Nolan's phone and Dr. Mitchell's examination of the remaining portions of Nolan's body. With respect to Nolan's phone, the family is prepared to make a device immediately available for the joint coordinated forensic examination previously agreed upon by the parties. In the interest of expediency, we request that your office choose any time from Tuesday, August 18th through Friday, August 21st to conduct the joint forensic examination. Please provide at least a 12-hour notice of your choosing date and the time so that the examination can be scheduled without further delay. Please include whether the examination will still be held at your previously selected location of Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, right? So remember earlier in the August 13th, correspondence, you know, where they said that they agreed upon this agreement on July 15th. You know what I'm saying? So Gulf Coast Community College is the location that they agreed upon having this digital forensic, extraction done of Nolan's phone, right? So now let's keep on going. Let's keep on reading. It says, we also hope to promptly move forward with Dr. Robert Mitchell's examination of Nolan's body parts that were not previously made available to him. Dr. Mitchell is available Wednesday, August 19th through Friday, August 21st to complete the independent autopsy. Again, please provide us with at least 12-hour notice and ensure that Nolan's remaining body parts are available to Dr. Mitchell. The family and their legal team are actively conducting an independent investigation and remain cooperative with your office to complete a thorough investigation as agreed on July 15th. Once again, it goes back to the July 15th agreement. All parties share the same goal of determining the circumstances surrounding Nolan's death. Okay, and this was cordially, it says cordially, and it was signed here by Ahmad R. Smith, A.R. Smith Law, PLLC, right? So Ahmad Smith is one of the attorneys on Benjamin Crump's team, right? So this was the most recent correspondence set out, right? Okay, let me read through the comments a little bit. It says it shows how useless people are. Within a month, they said that the grand jury will look at the case. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's been that long. It's been a month since they said that. See, that's what I want to know. I want to know, has the case been presented to the grand jury already? And how long has the grand jury had it? It says she didn't like the results. That's why she added them right off the rip. That's why she sealed them right off the rip. I believe that. I ain't gonna even cap to you. I believe that. I believe she got the results of that autopsy and she sealed that shit immediate because she did not like what was found in there. And she like, hell no, we can't release this to the public. We gotta find out how we can manipulate this. Tell him about the gun line, boss. Y'all got to be, hey, listen, man, I don't understand how y'all cannot see through this shit, man. This shit is blatantly obvious. And what she trying to do is, right? She trying to get us to believe that she sealed the documents because she don't want us, the content creators, she don't want the media, she don't want these people to influence the outcome or to influence potential jurors. Like, man, listen, bro. I don't care what you talking about. This story been talked about so much. If you go on YouTube, right, you can go on YouTube right now, and I guarantee you, you'll probably find at least 100, if not more, different content creators talking about this case. So, like, listen, bro, this case been talked about so much, and it's in people's face so much, right? That it don't matter who you put on the jury. You know what I'm saying? And if you give us an all white jury, people gonna say something about that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, come on, man. Listen, the only thing this family is asking about, right? Listen, this is the only thing they asking for. Listen, give us a fair, impartial investigation. Meaning that, listen, if the evidence points to this person, then go get that person so we can prosecute that person. If the evidence points to multiple people, go get those multiple people so we can prosecute those multiple people. Let those people stand and face their accusers in a court of law. That's how, ain't that how it's supposed to be done? Today, they put that out. Yeah, they put that statement out today. That letter we just read, yeah, they put that out today. You know what I'm saying? And thankfully, I was able to secure a copy of it. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen somebody else earlier when I was watching some content on YouTube. I seen somebody else who had the letter. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, well, damn, how the fuck did they get that? You know what I'm saying? And thankfully, I was able to go on Benjamin Crump's website, and I was able to get a copy of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the original document that they sent out today to the district attorney, right? And so far, I've seen one other person, a content creator by the name of Trent Out Loud. Shout out to Trent Out Loud. Make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to his channel. He got some good content over there. You know, he's the only other person who I've seen who had that document, right? And speaking of Trent Out Loud, we finna get into, well, you know what? I don't know. I might say this. I might say that video for part two of this. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like, I done held y'all for a minute, right? And I don't really like making videos too long. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I understand some people's attention span, like, ain't it don't go that far. You know what I'm saying? So I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the video right here, right? And I'm gonna save Trent Out Loud's video because I want to share that with y'all because I watched it, you know what I'm saying, and I thought it was very informative, you know what I'm saying. So I want to share it with y'all, but I think I'm gonna make a part two to this video, right? And we're gonna watch that. We're gonna watch the content that he did. You know what I'm saying? Because he makes a lot of sense and he points out a lot of very informative things that's been going on with this case. Right. So with that being said, man, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all tell a friend to tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all hit that bell notification so y'all know every time that I'm dropping a video or going live. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, man, y'all know who it is, man. It's Blanco. It's been Keep It Authentic TV, man. We out.